Hello, class. Wanted to visit with you a little bit about what an asset is not. Our last podcast pointed out in a picture of a Boeing factory what the assets were. We're going to use this office picture of an office, to illustrate what an asset is not. And most of what we're going to review is what an the difference is between asset and an expense. So while it is not as obvious as the desks and chairs, which would be assets, and computers and so forth, obviously the computers would not be working unless there was electricity to this office, and would be very hard to work if there were not overhead lights, by using electricity as well. So electricity is not an asset, it is an expense. And the reason why is as the electricity comes to your building, you use it immediately. So it doesn't provide future benefit, it provides a current or past benefit, and therefore it is an expense. So the difference between an asset and an expense is when in time the benefit is going to be received or used. So electricity is being used constantly in this office, and it is an expense because what you use today is not going to benefit you tomorrow. And what you buy today is not going to benefit you tomorrow. That brings us to another thing that is kind of sometimes a little confusing, and that is people. We have lots of people in here. Are they assets, or is the cost of those people an expense to the business? Well, you have to think of it, and again, we're not talking about the value of people or anything like that. We're talking about how we account for them. And the question is, when does the benefit happen of these people's work? Well, it's happening right now. This person is being paid to work right now, not for stuff that he's going to do next week, but what he is doing right now. So people or wages or salaries are expenses because the benefit to the company is received at the same time as they do their work. And so they're going to be paid after they do the work. The only way you would have a future benefit is if this person were so valuable that you paid them before they did their work. Say, for instance, you said to them, I will give you a 1 year bonus if you will stay around, and promise me that you'll stick around for that whole year. I will pay you before you do the work. Then that would be an asset, the amount we paid them, because the benefit of their work would be coming in the future. But that's very rare, except for maybe professional athletes and actors and actresses and things like that. Most of us have to work and then we get paid. They very seldom pay before the work is done. So people are generally not assets, but rather the cost is an expense. So assets are not expenses, but they are related to them in that regard, in that they both are costs, both cost money, and both of them provide benefit. And the difference is when that benefit is used or received.